students and lay students. And also good morning to the audience who are watching the live telecast from IBSCs, both in Thailand and in other countries. Put down your hand. This morning it is very special occasion for us. IBSC's community to organize and participate in the orientation ceremonies of the first semester to 2023 to 24. I'd like to declare the orientation ceremony and give speech a little bit regarding Buddhist education for sustainable happiness. But first of all, welcome to you all to IBSC. The former rectors specially organized, established, and prepared the plot of lands here covering 84 rights only for International Buddhist Studies College. And only for to welcome all the students who are interested in Buddhist studies to come to join, both in the long-term curriculums and the short-term curriculum. I am really pleased to see you all coming from different countries and join the programs, both in MA, BA, MA, and PhD degree. We are brothers because we are the Sangha communities, Buddhist Sangha communities, irrespective of whatever countries we are living. Whenever we are wearing the yellow robe, which symbolize the Buddhist communities, we have seen each other. We are feeling very warm everywhere, every corner of the world. Regarding Buddhist education for happiness, sustainable happiness, all other worlds regard Buddhist education, only Buddhist education leading to the sustainable happiness. When we are talking about education, Buddhist education, the key term, Buddhist education covering two kinds of education. The first one is the academic education, the subject matter. It means studies. Whatever major we study, they are academics. This is the first one of Buddhist education. We study Kantatura or the Buddha's teachings in Tipitaka scriptures, the commentaries, sub-commentaries, and other books. These are academics affairs. The second one of Buddhist education mentioning the training, sikha or siksa. It means 3-4 trainings. The training in moralities, the training in mentalities, the training in wisdom. So, as for the lay university outside, they have occasion only to attend the Buddhist education in terms of academic affairs. Very hard for them to have occasion to get the trainings according to Buddhist tradition. For sustainable happiness, if we start with Buddhist education covering studies and trainings, academics and mentalities, it means that we are going to the right track to the utmost goals of happiness, that is sustainable happiness. We start with training in moralities. From here, we will get the benefits of the training in moralities. It means non-worriness, gladness, raptures, and serenities. From training in moralities, we get, after getting non-worriness, gladness, raptures, and serenities, these will be the strong foundations for happiness, but not sustainable happiness, the happiness, and then we will go up to the trainings of mentalities or Citta-sikha, from Sila-sikha up to Citta-sikha. Whenever we get training, we get the complete trainings in mentality, it will be the strong foundations of trainings wisdom or Panya-sikha. Whenever we have completed the trainings in wisdom or Panya-sikha, it means that we go up. We will get the benefits, many benefits. There are the aversions. From the aversion, we will get this passion. From this passion, we will get liberation from liberation, we will get the purities. From the purity, we will get nirvana or nibbana. In this way, it means we have reached to the topmost of the good benefits, that is sustainable happiness. This is the only one way. There's no other way apart from this. This is the greatest of the Buddhist education for sustainable happiness. The only one way. If we study only academic affair, no way to get the sustainable happiness like this. Really grateful and really interesting as for Buddhist education for sustainable happiness. So you are very lucky when you have the right view to choose IBSC to be the place for your education. After finishing your education here, it will be guaranteed that you will be safe both in the monkhood or in any other status. So as on behalf of the MCU administrators, I'd like to give warm welcome to you again. I hope that you all will be successful in your studies, and all the students, the newcomers, juniors, seniors, will finish the studies as you want. Thank you very much for your coming and study here. Finally, to the power of the Triple Gems, may you be all be blessed with the successful happiness, peacefulness, and get the degree as you want. เตอัตตลธาสุกิตาวิรุณหาพุทธศาสนอโรคาสุกิตาโหธาสาสเปหิยาติภิเตอัตตลธาสุกิตาวิรุณหาพุทธศาสนอโรคาสุกิตาโหธาสาสเปหิยาติภิเตอัตตลธาสุกิตาวิรุณหาพุทธศาสนอโรคาสุกิตาโหธาสาสเปหิยาติภิภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักขันตุสัพพเทวตาสัพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสธีพระวันตุเต
Before we all will give the Dhamma, give to most venerable, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of all of us who work here and being here. So far, most venerable, his life work at and work too hard to develop our university. Because of this, we all might know that most venerable, as a former director of International Buddhist Study College. At that time, most venerable was appointed to be vice rector for academic affairs. But now is the second term. Most venerable work as the rector of Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University. We all know that because Most Venerable worked too hard, now we all would like to do a chanting to bless Most Venerable to be strong health. And I would like to call upon you all to do a chanting together. พุทธังโฆสติสังฆาโตธัมมานังตถาวิริยมปิยติปัสสัตติโพชังคาจตถาสมมาทุเปกขโพชังคาสัตเตสัพพทัสสินามุนินาสัมมทักตาภาวิพหุเลกตาสังวัตันเตอภินเนปานายาจโปติยาเอเตนะสัตติเตโหตุสัพพทาเอกสมิงสมัยเยนโมคคัลลานันจกัสสปังกิลาเนทุกทิสวะโพชังเคสัตตเทสยิเตอภินันทิตวารโรคาโมเจงสุตังคเนเตนะสัจวัจเจนะโสติเตตุสัพพทาเอกทาธรรมราเคลันเยนะปิเปลิโตโจนทัตเทเรพนาเปตวานาสาธรังสัมโมทิตวาภาทาตัมหาโวทาสิทานาโสเอเตนะสัตเจนะโสติเตโหตุสัพปะหินาเตจะอาปาทาตินันนัมสินังมาคาตากิเลสาวปาตานุปัตมาตังเอเตนะสัจวัจเจนะโสตโหตุสัพพทาโสอัตถลาโตสุขิโตวิรุณสาสเนอโรโคสุขิโตโหหิสหสัพหิยาติปิโสอัตถลาโตสุขิโตวิรุณพุทธสาสเนอโรโคสุขิโตโหเพหิยาติปิโสอัตถลาโตสุขิโตวิรุณโหสาสเนอโรโคสุขิโตโหสัพเพหิยาติปิภวตุสัพพมังคลังรักวัตตาสัมปโพธานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติยตุเตยมภวตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพวัตตาสัพพธรรมานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสตุเตยมภวตุสัพพมังคลังราคันตุสัพวัตตาสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนัสสทธาโสติภาวันตุเต Now we pay respect most venerable 3 times together.
So, the next section. Sadhu. Okay. So the next section will wait for the Venerable Professor Prabhom Mandit. He's the Vice President of University Council and abbot of Wat Prayun Wongsawat Varavihan, and he's also a member of the Supreme Sangha Council. He will give a special speech on come to learn, live to serve. In my opinion, I think it's very interesting because if we as I mentioned earlier, let me introduce myself again. First of all, I would like to pay my respect to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. My name is Waranit Wasurat. I'm a master of ceremony of today events. So, and I'm also a PhD student at Buddhist study. So my aim is to study here and hopefully in the future, when I graduate, I can help the society by use the Buddhist Dhamma teaching to help. And I believe all of you monks, nuns, and lay people here respect our Lord of Buddha, and everyone would like to follow his path. Okay, so while we're waiting for Prabhom Bandit, let me tell you our schedule again, because right now I see more people coming. So in the morning section, well, I have give some gifts for the student here. So after we listen to Prabhom Bandit, we'll have lunch. So we have a place for you downstairs on the first floor. And then at 1:00, you're not gonna come back to this room. We're gonna meet on the second floor at my room. Okay. And after that, we'll listen to our director of IBSC, and he also the director of Peace Study in Thai program as well. And then you have a chance to meet all the faculty members here and also the staff, our academic affair. They will help support to your academic years. And then almost the end of the day, you will have a chance to meet our senior student. They have prepared some activity for you. So I think it's important, as I'm myself as a PhD student here, I feel like here is the family. We have Dharma brothers and sisters. So it's very good that you have an opportunity to meet the senior students. So if you have any questions, I think please feel free to ask them. Everyone here is very nice and kind and willing to help. So I would like to express a warm welcome to all of you again. I'm very happy to see new student here today. And Anumotana Satu for bringing yourself here to start a new journey here. So while we're waiting, maybe we meditate for about 5 minutes so that we feel at peace and prepare for the next speaker. And we're going to do the Samijikam again. And then after his speech, we'll have lunch. Sadhu. Hearing, hearing, hearing. I would like to ask you to open your eyes. So now we're going to have a 10-minute break. You may go to the restroom and we'll meet again after the 10 minutes to listen to Prapom Bandit's speech. Okay. อนุโมทนาสาธุ So if you walk out of the door and turn right and go straight, there's a restroom on the right hand side. Yes. So I can see there are a lot of students still here. So I have the last gift for you. So the last gift for the last questions. Can anyone tell me the name of IBSC website? Could you please raise your hand if you know the answer? Is World Wide Web? Yes, very easy because I really want to give this gift for you. It's our MCU notebook. I don't want you to feel stressful. Very want you to be happy. So if you know the answer, could you please raise your hand? Yes, it's World Wide Web. Dot. Can you use the microphone, please?
ibse.mcu.ac.th. Thank you.
So actually, there's a lot of information there. Thank you very much, the wonderful. Here's your notebook. Satu. Okay, so while we wait for Prabhum Bandit, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Frank to come and give a speech to your new student. Satu.
Well, I'm very happy to see all of you today. I'm happy, Mi Kwan Suk, from my heart, to see you all here today. It means to me that IBSC is a growing and vibrant community. Whatever culture, country, or language you represent, you are most welcome here. And in my experience of teaching here for 5 years as a professor, I have noticed everyone is treated equally. This is very important. Diversity, inclusion, and social harmony, these are important aspects of our community here. I think that whatever part of the fourfold Sangha, monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, you are from, you will experience the good IBSC hospitality during your journey to self-improvement. My theme in this short few minutes that I was suddenly assigned to relate to will be self-development. Now, I don't mean self as Ata or Atman in a Hindu way. I mean it as a process point of view. We are all in process of growing, increasing in wisdom, increasing in mindfulness, all the time in our path. So there may be many ways here to be on the path of self-development. For example, you may choose to spend a lot of time in meditation. This is easy to do. We have experts in this field. There is no doubt. Or you may decide to study more Pali. We have people at the top level of Pali expertise. Or you may choose to study Buddhist philosophy. We have a growing development in this field. And if my guess is right, we will have an MA and a PhD degree course in this field as soon as the administrators get together with the council and others. So, what does self-development mean to you? I would like you to explore it as a personal question because you are in a place which offers abundant opportunities for different kinds of self-development. While you are here, you may decide you want to make it a personal project on some of the many holidays we have to visit what? Here and there in many provinces. Our director has made in his hometown an eco village. This is one of the places at Sisaket you may decide to visit. Some relatives of mine are in Isan. You may decide you want to understand that culture better, and that would be an appropriate choice for you. But please make it not just study, make it an opportunity for self-development. So thank you for the time to make my humble remarks. For myself, self-development must include academic self-development, and that is why every year I volunteer time to give you a thesis camp where I teach, along with other scholars, academic writing and critical thinking. It's your choice, but I would encourage you to do that because, in my view, academic writing and critical thinking, which means to work on debatable questions from multiple points of view, take a point of view of your own, and argue it carefully. Thank you very much.
สาธุ Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Frank. So now I have about 6 pence left while we waiting. I'm thinking about asking something easy again. If you could share your idea or the reason why you choose to study at IBSC so that we can get to know more about you, because a minute ago Professor Dr. Frank had shared from a teacher point of view, he's happy to be here, and from your perspective, would you like to, is anyone would like to share why you choose to study here at IPSC? Please raise your hand. I saw nodding. But I think there's a lot of students here. So maybe we will talk in the classroom in a small room, I believe. But I can see that all of you are very calm and happy. So I'm happy to see new faces today. And I think Prapomanda is coming soon. So maybe we'll wait and then we'll do some activity in the afternoon section. I think it's better so that your mind is not feeling too excited. I think it should be calm and yes, and ready to. Okay, so Prapomanda is here. So, as I mentioned before, the Honorable Professor Dr. Prapom Mandit has 3 positions. He's the Vice President of University Council, a member of the Supreme Sangha Council, and he's also an avid วัดประยูรวรวัดประยูรวงศาวาสวรวิหาร So I very appreciate he's taking time out of his busy schedule to come and join us today. I think you're very lucky to have a chance to listen to his special speech today. You might have seen his face on YouTube or television for the lay people. And now, I think in a few seconds, you'll have a chance to meet him out of the social media. So he will come and deliver a special speech on come to learn and live to serve. Okay. Then we'll do Samijigam again, and we have a representative. Yes, he's here now.
So now, our most venerable Professor Dr. Brahma Pandit is the President of International Council for the Day of Vesak and President of International Association of Buddhist University. At the same time now, the position of most venerable work here as Vice President for University Council. It is a remarkable time for all of us who will have a chance to welcome most venerable to be here. And we always have a chance to listen to most venerable. And before that time, I would like to draw your attention to bring you all to pay respect to most venerable together. Please prepare for that.
Now a representative of three Buddhist schools, Mahayana, Theravada, and Vajrayana, are giving a respect to Prabhupada Pandit.
Before I will invite most venerable to give talk and share experiences with you all for 1 hour and a half. I would like to introduce most venerable to you a little bit. For those who is a new student, might not know most venerable anymore. As you know, most venerable Prabhupada Pandit worked here as a rector for 20 years. Most venerable moved our university from Wat Mahathat, Bangkok, to be here 15 years ago to establish new campus. This is the main campus. And here, International Buddhist Study College, the most venerable Professor Dr. Prabhupada Pandit tried to remind all of us who work here, the Buddha said, the most venerable said that we established International Buddhist Study College, MCU, is not for MCU, but it is for people around the world. The reason why there are too many students and researchers from around the world have a chance to come here to learn, and especially most venerable organized Vesak celebration 18 times in Thailand and Vietnam and Sri Lanka as well. And there are too many people come to join Vesak celebration every year because of this. And for me, I would like to tell you a little bit. Most venerable sent me to improve English language in Oxford University for 10 years. After that, he would like me to establish language institute in MCU, then move to be director of IBSC. We all work too hard to dedicate our life work under the power of most venerable Professor Dr. Prabrahma Bandit. Today as well, we have a chance to learn experiences from most venerable. The topic will be come to learn, live to serve. Now I would like to take this opportunity to invite most venerable to share experiences. Please, most venerable.
Venerable พระเมธีวชระบัณฑิต Director of IBSC, professors, faculty members, and my dear students. As Venerable Hansa or Pramethi Vachara Bandit has introduced me to you, one thing that I want to give you more information is that when Hansa, calling him Hansa, it's okay, เจ้าคุณ saying that I moved the headquarters of the university, มหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย no need to put it, to this place. It means that before moving the headquarters from Wat Mahatha to this place, we have to build a new campus. There was nothing here, only paddy field. Imagine nothing, empty space. With donation of the plot of land, say about 30% of the plot of land of the present time. The rest we bought, accumulate more with donation. Half of the budget that we spend for building this campus here come from donation. After we accumulate the fund, then the government came to support us later. So I finished construction of this campus and doing administrative work, and at the same time constructing the building and everything, including in this area. I have prepared for establishment of IBSC, International Buddhist Studies College, in two counts. One is by constructing the buildings, the plan, everything, and the other by preparing personnel, person to be responsible for running this college. One of the main things that I have achieved is to select Venerable Hansa. At that time, he just got PhD from this university. To send him to Oxford to learn English there. My aim at that time is to prepare the groundwork for international center, but not without language institute. That's why I assigned him. The first assignment is to be rector of language institute and promote him to the status of director equal to dean of the faculty. So this college is entitled to provide education for non-degree and for degree, like certificate. And for the degree from BA up to PhD. This is a flexibility of college, maybe better than faculty in this sense. And it has its own office, whereas the other faculty have no beautiful building like this. Happy? I provide facility and everything for you. More than that, I think facility necessary for international student is hostel accommodation. So I built a hostel. Even the library, like a pagoda shape. The whole structure finished during my tenure, but after my departure, it's remained there for you to cry up, to do something, to patch up the roof. That I plan it to be a library for international students. Well, still have a dream. It's a plan in my mind that every time I came to the university, I look up. Wow, this is a permanent in opposite to Anijjang. Remain there. Nothing changed. Anyway, that is not my business to talk to that this afternoon. What I would like to encourage you in the first day of your meeting here is called orientation, to prepare yourself for joining the faculty officially and learning here. To prepare your mind, what you expect to get from this institution. It's a two-way. The provider, the professor, the teacher is one way to give you instruction and guideline. The other side is your mind. You must be ready to receive what your teacher is going to guide you. On the full moon day of, say, the last full moon day is a Vassa day, Vassa entry day. Is a date with a day which is important for the Buddhists because the Buddha preached the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. I explained in my sermon on that day to the devotees in my temple that Dhammacakka means the wheel of Dhamma. The first sermon symbolizes moving of the wheel of Dhamma by the Buddha for the first time. That moving of the Dhamma was successful not because of just external moving by the Buddha alone. The sermon preaching was successful because the listener, the hearer, the five ascetics, especially Anya Godanya, moved his mind along with the wheel of the Dhamma. So, in consistency with both moving, arise Dhamma Chakku, the Dhamma eyes. Konanya attain the state of Sotapanna. Suppose when the Buddha was preaching, Konanya didn't care on to listen to the Dhamma, just lost in his thought. Is he fake? Is his teaching is true? With Vichikicha suspicion. No concentration, no curiosity, no moving inside his mind in accordance with the sentence presented by the Buddha, word by word. He wouldn't go anywhere inside. It means that there is no moving of Dhammacakka internally in the mind of Kondanya. So conjunction between the two factors is very necessary for the successful preaching of the first sermon. Two factors. One is the external one. The Buddha called Kalayana Mitta, good friend, teacher, preacher, the Buddha. The second one is Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention within the minds of Kondanya. Attentive, meditative attention to the presentation of the Buddha. So two factors. External, good teacher. Internal, good student. Paying full attention, that is internal factor from the mind of students. Paying full attention to the presentation, then jackpot. Dhamma Chakku, eye of Dhamma, arise in the mind of Kondanya. So I hope that the same phenomenon will happen here. You come with curiosity, learning with your Yoniso Manasikara. Starting from today, you listen to my talk with wise attention. Yoniso Manasikara. Following the talk, the presentation of your teachers who are going to present good message to you, then the conjunction, the meeting of the two, give rise to wisdom. See? So don't just come here, just expect to learn something without preparing your mind. How to prepare your mind? One factor, internal factor for the success of your education here. That is, I'm going to present to you, come to learn. How you learn here? There is a saying, a job well prepared is half done. If you prepare your mind well for reception of the knowledge, it guarantees the success of your study here, 50%. Another 50% from external factor from your teacher, professors. So what you can expect, prepare your mind when you come here. I follow a proverb. One picture is worth 1,000 words. just one picture. Save my time. So I will give you a story through picture that it is about pencil story. The pencil makers, after produce pencils, putting them into the box, before putting them into the box, give advice to each and everyone, every pencil, that from now onwards, for you to be a great pencil, you have to do 5 things. To be a great student, you have to follow these 5 steps, like a pencil. Number 1, advice number 1, for a pencil to be great, it must allow itself to be held in someone's hand. Someone has to use it. Pencil cannot grow and succeed alone like you. You come to Thailand. It's very hard, very difficult for you as foreigner to receive good education here without putting yourself within qualified institution like IBSC. If you want to receive a training in Thailand, where to go? You need admission, right, into this college to put yourself into a trusted hand of Venerable Hansa. Reliable or not, I'm not quite sure. Now he moved to his temple. Worked so hard there, but he has to maintain his work here. Don't be content with your kun so much that you forget this college. Okay? I just talk. It means now you put yourself in the hands of your professor for training here so that you can be great in the future. You select this institution, MCU and IBSC. What happened? For a pencil, it was held by a robber, by a call center. See? For fraud. That's bad thing. But you come here in good faith. Then it gives inspiration that one day you'll be great. That is number 1. And come to learn. Live to serve means in what hand you will put yourself after graduation. Which country you are going to serve. Which institution you are going to work with. Where to go after graduation. Think it right now. It is important for selecting the topic of your thesis. If you select the thesis without a future workplace to be in the view, to be in the background, you won't know where to work, where to do with your knowledge. When you come to study about peace education, In the future, you'll work in this field. But where? You can imagine. In a needed land, maybe in neighboring countries. What about meditation, preaching? The Western people are in need of meditation master. A lot of work waiting for you there. Only when you can teach meditation in English or other foreign language. See, you prepare your language skill and meditation experience. That will do. In line with future hand that will hold you, you select the field of your study. When we are kids, the grown up ask us what you want to be when you are grown up. That I'm talking about the same thing. What you want to do after graduation from IBSC. When I did my PhD in philosophy, I have to write a thesis, PhD thesis. I reach a crossroad and I have to make a decision to select between a comparative study between Buddhism and two schools of Western philosophy. One is analytic philosophy in UK. Another is existentialism in the continental philosophy, French philosophy, or English philosophy, to be precise. What is the criterion of my decision, my future? Which kind of philosophy, analytic philosophy or existentialist philosophy, which one is more appropriate for working in a Buddhist country like Thailand? To be well received by society and easier to compare and support each other. Existentialism. Existentialism can go hand in hand with Buddhism, whereas analytic philosophy criticizes everything, including religious language. See? So my field was comparative study of Buddhism and existentialism. And it became my worldview because I have comparative capability of comparison of all kinds of philosophy, and I apply it to comparative study between Theravada and Mahayana. When I organized Vesak celebration, inviting Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, I did research myself on comparison among these three schools. It resulted in a great work, which I work as chief editor. You have to read it. CBT, Common Buddhist Text. Translation from original teaching in Pali, Chinese, Sanskrit, and Tibetan into one volume. I'm chief editor with international translator. It took 7 years to finish it. Now translated into 10 languages, maybe including yours. You have to read it to see what is the essential characteristic of Buddhism found in all the Nikayas. That happened because of my attitude regarding comparative study. I can cooperate with religious readers. And with this spirit, I compare Buddhism with Islam, Christianity, and other. I make friends with international scholars from various religions. 2 days ago, Secretary General of Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, a very powerful position in international politics. This Secretary General, just the leader of 57 Muslim countries, OIC, visited Thailand. Our country had a problem in the south. The Thai government want to show to the Secretary General that the Muslim, the Buddhists, and the Christian live in peaceful coexistence. The Secretary General, should see by for his own eyes. And the government select one place where he can see the unity of the followers of Islam, Buddhism, and Christianity in one community. And the government select my temple. I invite Hansa to be a witness so that he can assure that what I say is true. See? That is the result of careful consideration of the future hand that will hold a pencil like yours. Get the point? Where to work after graduation will guide you. Don't think that it is superficial. Without objective, without purpose, why you are studying here, why you learn here, you will waste your time. Remember a son of Anathapindika, the great supporter of the Buddha. He was a playboy. His name was Kala. Whereas his father, Anathapindika, is a devoted or pious Buddhist, his son didn't pay attention to Buddhism at all. So his father sent the son to learn the Buddha teaching, to spend a night listening to the sermon at the temple on the Uposatha, a Buddhist holiday, with a promise to pay 1,000 kahapana. Theravada monks know well about this story. But Kala isn't interested in the Dhamma reasoning or teaching at all. He just went to sleep at the temple, and the next morning came to his house following the monks, asking for money first before having breakfast. So he deceived his father. Anathapindika suspect. Why so greedy even after listening to the Dhamma? So the next time, he sent his son to the temple again with the condition that you listen to the Dhamma preaching of the monk, and when you come back, just narrate, just retell the story, what you listen, what you have listened. Just report what the monk preach you at the temple. Then I will pay you 1,000. So Kala, his son, with the intention of the future achievement of 1,000 kahapana, he was listening to the preaching of the monk attentively and tried to memorize. To arrange information in good order so that he could understand and narrate to or report to his father with that intention what to do in the future, that is tomorrow. It happened that the monk who preached during the night was the Buddha, and a very, very good presentation, so much that when Kala listening with attention, why attention, he attained the state of Sotapanna. See? Just learn or reasoning without purpose may not lead you anywhere, a waste of time. But with the future direction, what you want to do in the future, and training yourself at the present time for that target, your stay and education here will be fruitful. That's number one. Number two, oh, sorry. Advice number two, for a pencil to be able to write down, you have to sharpen it. See? Without sharpening, pencil is nothing, just like a stick. Now you use the sharpener, this one, and sharpen it. Then you can write it, become a better pencil. Without sharpener, pencil is worthless. So from time to time, a pencil will experience a painful sharpening. In the same way, students, from time to time, to be sharpen your mind, your wisdom, by your teacher, professor, admonition, advice, whatever, blame it, hurt your mind. That is a process of make you a better person. You have to pass through the painful experience. It doesn't come from professor alone, but living together with a friend from international community. You have to adjust yourself, adapt yourself to food, to culture shock and everything. That is a painful transformation. You need to go through that to become a better person. Sometimes you have to go through meditation retreat. That is quite painful when you sit for a long time, sitting like this. That is the process of sharpening your intelligence. You have a bitter experience of learning English. It's not your mother tongue. Try to guess what the professor is elaborating, explaining what I'm talking about. Maybe you understand just 10%, 20%. It doesn't matter. When you listen day by day, reading by English book day by day, then you can improve yourself. It happens to every one. Learning English is like that. Even Chinese, right? See? It depends on your patience, determination to improve yourself. You will never be a better person, a successful student, without painful experience of training. Be ready for that. Number 3. To be in Thailand, I have to give you information. We have 3 types of education according to Education Act. So you can, when you are in Thailand, you can receive 3 types of education. It is a lifelong education. It depends on you what you want to be trained. Now, right now, you are in formal education system that have a fixed curriculum, fixed timetable, evaluation, everything. Non-formal education, like adult education, is a flexible training. Maybe even in our university, we have a course like this that is for Saturday and Sunday course, which is different from the formal education. The evening class in some university, it's flexible timetable and everything, schedule flexible to the need of the student. And number 3, informal education. This is very important for you. Informal education means according to the law, it out in this land, I explained to you. See, this is what they said. Informal education allows the learner to learn by oneself, according to the interest, potential, through mass media, to books, source of knowledge, other source of knowledge. Whatever interests you, you just study by yourself. For example, the Thai language, it is not compulsory. Only English is compulsory. The Thai language is not compulsory. But if you have keen interest in learning the Thai culture, and in the future you like to establish a good relationship between your land and this land of smile, Buddhist country, Thai language is very beneficial, very useful. To learn the Thai language, that is the formal education here, no non-formal education, only informal education that you can learn from your peer, from your personal tutor, from your guru, Google. See? That is informal education. If you want to practice, have a deep practice of meditation, 1 month retreat may not enough. So you opt to go to meditation center anywhere in Thailand during your summer vacation and stay there and practice there, have 1 meal a day, chanting like a Thai monk. That is informal education. It turned out that many foreign students graduated from foreign country. When returned to their land, they use the informal education for working and be successful in their career. For example, one policeman went to do PhD in USA 30 years ago. When he returned to Thailand, he left the police force, worked in accordance with the informal education that he received from USA, that is computer science. He set up the computers center, and he was the one who introduced the mobile phone to Thailand. Mobile phone, AIS, become a rich person, very rich person. Later, he became Prime Minister of Thailand. From police, they provide him formal education and training. And he switched to informal education in the field of computer science. Then his whole life become the businessman, the politician, and everything. It happens to the professor here. One other professor went to America, Yale University. He graduated from MCU. His formal education at the university in Yale University was Southeast Asian study. But when he returned to MCU as a monk, he started teaching Western philosophy and well versed in Aristotle logic, well known in logic. His name is Professor Jamnong Thong Prasert. See, his major in formal education is Southeast Asian, but he spent his free time in informal education relating to philosophy and logic. Don't take for granted that informal education will not be useful for you in the future. Who knows? We never know. Like a hobby of some scholar, writing, gardening, become a main career of that person. So when you are in Thailand, spend some time looking for the field of interest, the subject that interests you, either in Thai language or other language, or in Pali or meditation, whatever. Practice further, learning further. So in that case, you won't stop sharpening yourself. The next advice is that, this one, Steve Jobs, the inventor of Apple product, Macintosh, this one. Steve Jobs spent 2 years at the Rice University for formal education. And he stopped after 2 years studying at the university because he realized that his parents could not afford to pay for his tuition. No money. So he stopped formal education for the degree at the university. He switched to informal education plus formal type. It is informal in the sense that he no longer joined the faculty that he used to join in the first 2 years. But he remains at the university campus, staying without payment with his friend in the hostel. He slept on the floor instead of the bed with the mercy of his friend. No money for food. He sold, say, a bottle of Coke, or I'm not quite sure. On Saturday and Sunday, he worked for 4 or 5 miles to join Hare Krishna movement in order to have free meal. And he stuffed himself with that free meal on Saturday and Sunday, ready to live for another 5 days. He spent another 2 years at the campus, learning the subject that interests him only. Because he didn't have money to pay, he just followed his friend and sit in the back, studying the subject he find interesting for 2 years. First 2 years is formal education. The second, another 2 years was informal education. It means 4 years. After 4 years, he had enough or sufficient knowledge, especially in computer science, which is not a major in his preliminary study. And he turned the garage of his parents to be a factory to produce the first version of Macintosh and sell it to be a very successful business. After his success, he was given PhD, honorary PhD by Stanford University in the year 2005. Before receiving the degree, he gave a speech to the graduated student there, the graduates there. The last sentence of advice in his speech to the students, to the graduates there at the Stanford University batch 2005 consists of 2 sentences. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. The last sentence. It summarizes his student life that make him a great innovator later on. Because his years in Reed University full of hunger for experience, ready to learn everything from formal and informal education, and he was very humble, like Socrates. Humble. Socrates said, I am wiser than the other guy because I know what I don't know. I know about my ignorance, my foolishness, and I want to correct myself. What I don't know, I have to learn more about that. So if you keep telling yourself that you are not good enough in English, you have to find out the tutor or instructor in this subject matter. It means you admit that you are still foolish in this subject. See, you will improve yourself. English improvement is there. Stay foolish and hungry for knowledge, ready to listen to your professors. I don't mean just professors in the class, through the media, to the digital platform, from Google search, chat GPT, whatever that is helpful to you. What the benefit of admitting that you do not know this such and such a thing is the first advice. You will be able to correct any mistake you might make. The good thing for pencil is that better than pen is that when you write with pen, it's difficult to make a correction because rubber cannot help. Whereas pencil always come with rubber on the other side. The other side, you write, the pencil lead, the black color, you write, it's called that you write it down. When you make a mistake, you use the rubber to erase it, to make a correction. That is the advantage of your life as students. You are allowed to make self-correction. Whereas when you work at the office as the prime minister, if you make mistake, they criticize you and drive you out of the office. You have no chance for correction. To be in steady life means whatever mistake that you made, you admit it, admit your foolishness. With the advice from your supervisor in thesis writing, you improve your work, you improve the language. See, that is self-correction. Why? Computer games always win human being. Why? There was a competition between AI, artificial intelligence, like a robot, the artificial brain, invented by Google. It was programmed by Google to play Go. You know Go, a black and white in a Chinese style. See, international game like chess. So there are two kinds of international competition. One is chess, international champion in chess, and one is in Go, black and white, right? I didn't play, but I can see it. There was a challenge in both games, both kinds of game, chess playing and Go also competition. The challenge come from machine, computer. The computer for the first time, is known to the world that it challenged the chess champion, world champion. It happened that the computer can outplay human champion. And the very well-known story is about the competition in the year 2016, 6 years ago. taking place in Korea, Seoul. There was a competition between the world champion. He is a Korean, 21-year-old, and AI, artificial intelligence, that is machine, invented by Google, came to compete with each other for 5 games. In Go, not in chess, in Go. The Go champion, human being, play against computer for 5 games. The reason was that in 5 games, a human champion won only 1 game, maybe the first one. The other 4, he was defeated in the other 4 games. The winner got a prize of $1 million. Computer got the prize, $1 million. I don't know how it spent the money. See? And how come he won? This says what they call machine learning. Machine learning means AI or the machine is programmed to learn from its mistakes and improve itself. When he made mistake, he remember, never repeat it. That is, he is clever than human being because we tend to repeat our own same mistake. Whereas machine never repeat the same mistake. It remember what the wrong move in the past that make him lost. Didn't do it again. Improve itself every game. He keep winning. That is the difference between AI and human being. AI had no kilesa defilements. So it's easy to follow the reasonable movement. Whereas human being knows what the best thing to do to move, but I don't like it. I love to go this way. I love to be bad guy. See? We have temptation to make mistake. If you attain enlightenment, you purify your mind. You will have self-correction process. Never repeat the mistake. Because your life is governed by pure reason. Panya. But don't think that to be governed by pure reason or panya is a boring like a robot. No. That is to downgrade our arahant. The machine is different, although it follows the guideline of the reason, the program, improve itself, never make mistake twice, like arahant. But machine doesn't have feeling. AI lacks emotion. Never feel sad, never feel in love, anything. You believe or not, if a beautiful robot tell you that she loves you, how do you think? He loves you. No. Machine. Machine doesn't have feeling or emotion. Machine doesn't have vedana, happiness. Whereas พระอรหันต์ can have happiness. นิบบานังปรมังสุขัง Nibbana is the supreme or absolute happiness. Can any AI utter, I am so happy, and you congratulate it? The robot is very happy. No emotion. So, wisdom in Buddhism or Panya, this is Samma Panya, is not a boring omniscience like a robot, because it's mixed with feeling, happiness, mixed with empathy, karuna, compassion. Understand the feeling of other people and living together. When you have no feeling, when a robot has no feeling, how can it understand the feeling of other robot? When it doesn't understand the feeling of other robot, can it have mercy, compassion? No, machine can kill anyone instantly. Not reliable. So when you come here, you just not develop your cognitive aspect of your life. You develop the affective. Cognitive means สัญญา sutta, panya. Affective means เวทนา cetasika, mental factors. And cognitive means เจตนา manasikara, for inspiration. You improve or develop other factors, cetasika, mental factor in your mind through meditation. Joy meditation course whenever the faculty are arranged for you, so that you won't be a robot. I will come to check after 2 years. Now you are robot-like or not? You have sympathy, concern, ready to serve society or not? See, come to learn, live to serve mean this. Because you are not robot, you have sympathy. You have understanding of the feeling of the people. Compassion, karuna come automatically. That prove that you are human being and a good one. So self-correction means you improve yourself like a machine, but you are better than machine in that you improve the quality of mind that is feeling, that is affective, that is cognitive, not just cognitive. Number 4, what is important in you is insight here for writing, not this just covering. So keep the insight, improve it by threefold training. Sila, discipline. Samadhi, concentration. And Panya, wisdom. By wisdom, concentration, Samadhi, you understand. But by wisdom, it is the insight into the true nature of things inside your mind, empathy. And it see the relationship of everything in Paticca Samuppada. That is Panya. Machine doesn't have insight. related to feeling consciousness, because machine has no consciousness. What happens if a killer feeling like a robot, looking at a guy just like a machine, no consciousness, no chitta, no soul, nothing, so killing that guy without mercy, that is machine like human being. But training here is to see true nature of yourself, your consciousness, your mind, your dream, your expectation, and you compare yourself with other. Attanang upamang kattawa. Compare yourself with other, not to kill, not to give other to kill. This is the basis of morality, sympathy, empathy. So wisdom, for human wisdom, is better than machine wisdom, in the sense that it's in our wisdom, human being, it consists of compassion. It consists of happiness. That's why after enlightenment, the Buddha in our tradition developed 3 cardinal virtues. Remember, number 1 is panya, wisdom. That panya purify his mind, come to the second visuddhi, purity of mind, no kilesa, no defilements. That give rise to the third one, karuna, compassion. So enlightened one having 3 qualities of mind: wisdom, purity, and compassion. That is characteristic of students here. They have to go hand in hand. Just learning the theory, you may have the first one, wisdom. No visuddhi, purity of mind. No compassion. To join volunteer activities for the benefits of the poor, of the downtrodden, it gives rise to you sympathy, concern. So don't separate learning activity from social service and meditation. MCU, I think running out of time. Okay. Before I go to that, I would like to give you out of the last final advice. Never stop writing. On every surface you are used on, you must leave your mark. No matter what the condition, you must continue to write. The meaning of life is to leave your mark in the world before your departure, before your death. The value of life is that. As teachers in the future, what to do? As meditation master, as a bhikkhu, as a volunteer, such and such. To do good thing, like the instruction given by the Buddha to the first batch of 60 Arahant. After they attain enlightenment, nothing much left to do. But they have to leave their mark in the world. So the Buddha sent the 60 Arahants with the words, Charatha Bhikkhave, Charikang Bahuchana Hitaya Bahuchana Sukhaya Lokanukampaya. Go your way, monks, for the benefit and happiness of the many. พหูชนะหิตายะ พหูชนะสุขายะ for the benefit and happiness of the many. โลกานุกัมปายะ out of compassion for the world. Compassion. After graduation, think about it. Never stop leaving your mark. That is the general policy, but MCU has improved this position to be MCU philosophy. What is MCU philosophy? In Thai จัดการศึกษาพระพุทธศาสนา บูรณาการกับศาสตร์สมัยใหม่ พัฒนาจิตใจและสังคม I will show you MCU philosophy. Where is it? In English. This one. MCU philosophy in English. To provide Buddhist studies or Buddhist education integrated with modern science for mental and social development. That is what you can expect from this institution, this university. The university provide you a good knowledge of the Tripitaka, commentaries, and good knowledge of Buddhism. At the same time, they integrate, that is, so that in the future you can make use of Buddhism to apply to the social issue in the future from the perspective of modern science. In the faculty of Buddhism, you will see for BA, they have variety of interpretation in terms of modern science. Modern science including philosophy and other subjects. In the faculty of education, you can see science of development psychology, teaching techniques, and other social science, how to teach a social science. Incorporate with Buddhism, Buddhist knowledge, to teach or use the teaching technique of the modern science for preaching the Dhamma, to make it interesting for the youth. That is the faculty of education. Faculty of humanities, they emphasize on application of the Buddha principle in psychology, Buddhist psychology, history, and others. In the faculty of social science, they apply the Buddha teaching on compassion for, say, social service and others. So, in the faculty of Buddhism, they focus on meditation. But how modern science is beneficial to meditation practice? I will give you an example. See, why in the West they pay attention so much to mindfulness. The cover of Time magazine in the year 2014 put the word the mindful revolution. In USA, in the West, they follow the guideline of meditation practice of mindfulness development for a better living, for reducing stress, etc. Even in education, they have established mindful school in USA. In Europe, 4 or 5 years ago, before the COVID, we organized the international conference on mindfulness, inviting scholars from the West to meet with the East, meditation practitioner and master. Right now, mindfulness is in needed. They are in need of mindfulness, in needed. They need meditation practitioner and meditation master. When we produce, our university produced the meditation master, they went to the West to preach meditation there. In my temple, I have to MA graduate in meditation master degree. Stay in my temple just for 1 year, then disappear to the West. My temple is in need of a new meditation practice because it is meditation center registered by the Buddhism Bureau, National Bureau of Buddhism. But how mindfulness become very popular? Because of science. Because of science. I will show you. First, there was a research on meditation. They talk in scientific language to detect the mental state of meditation master, meditation practitioner through the machine called MRI and EEG to detect the movement, the brain change after deep meditation, and it found out that deep meditation change the pattern how brain work. We can control our mental activity through meditation, send the signal to the brain. The initiator, pioneer in this field is called Richardson in 1992. He put EEG on the head of the meditative Lama, and report. And prove that meditation or mindfulness is very useful. Another thing is that because of the discovery of neuroplasticity by the neurologists, it gives importance to meditation practice. What is neuroplasticity? Before the discovery, before this discovery, it is a false belief that our brain stop growing at certain age. For example, at the age of 20 or 25. After that, it never grows, never develops. That is a false belief. Science has proved that our brain system consisting of neuron 20 billion neurons dot that send electricity to connect it and to gather information in the brain never stop growing. Growing in the sense that adjust itself, not that you have a bigger head. Just it's rearrange the neurons to store information in your brain. This discovery comes from the research in London, maybe 20 years ago. They compare the taxi drivers in London and the bus driver in London. You know, the bus driver don't need to memorize or remember the routes because the stop sign is fixed. Follow the sign, follow the pattern of the roads. So they drive the bus easily. No need to use the brain at all. Whereas the taxi driver, no specific stop, specific routes. They have to memorize all the routes in the whole area of London. The new routes, that is the new information to be stored in the brain rearrange a new neuron dot in the brain to save that information. So many new dots arise in the brain, the neurons. Suppose you have never learned Pali. You come to Thailand and learn Pali for the first time. At the beginning, you have to struggle with difficulty in learning. But after your brain realize that this is quite a serious matter because you never stop learning. So your brain have to adjust itself to create a neuron to store information about Pali in your brain. So the network of neuron created more and more for the wise person. For the lazy one, not much system. Sleep all the time. Even during my talk. See? I can foresee the future. What they learn from this is that our brain never stop growing, never stop rearranging itself. No one is too old to learn the new information. So after retirement, many students from government office came to join our course here. They are welcome. The retired person get ordination in Thailand, maybe practice meditation, become meditation practice. Because of so instead of taking the brain as static, they call it flexibility of the brain system. Flexibility. It can be elastic, like a plastic. The plastic, when you contain water, it can extend. They call neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity give popularize to mindfulness because mindfulness help rearrange the neurons After traumatic experience, if without mindfulness, the brain will store a bitter experience, become a neurotic person. Instead, you practice mindfulness. New neuron inform a good information, positive thinking. You become a better person, a happy person, in spite of traumatic experience. This is a proof by science in the West. In the East, they don't need this proof because meditation is well received here. But if you go to the West, they need a proof. I already proved that. That's why it become very popular there. That is the intention of MCU. Not only in meditation, in the field also. When you go to preach the Dhamma, you have to give the reason, either by logic or anything, to convince them. You have to bring information from various fields to substantiate your claim. See? And okay. The last thing that I would like to pinpoint is that at MCU there is the flexibility in arranging the activities here. You will see the percentage of activities. They think the university provide you with knowledge of Buddhism and science, integration of Buddhism and science, and a partial fulfillment of your degree. At the same time, they expect you to practice meditation retreat, and foreigner may not, foreign student may not be aware of it. You believe it or not? The Thai monks who study for BA degree at MCU spend 5 years, whereas the foreigners spend 4 years. Nowadays, for the last 40 years, the Thai monks spend more time than you. 1 year, 4-year course is for the study in the classroom, practice meditation and everything.